What's up, everybody? My name is Nick.
I'm Mike.
We are the Brothers Murph, and this is the best of BGG.
That's right, it's time to celebrate Board Game Geek. Talk about the hottest games of the month, what everyone's talking about, some Murph picks from Russ, and some news. And speaking of the news, let's hop into it.
We have a BGG store update. There are a whole bunch of cool upgrades and promos that are out. Meeple Source has a whole bunch of kind of generic resources like corn and fish and like steel, things that are in many, many different games. These resource bits are always really, really nice. There's also these cool pint glasses that have D20s in them, which I think is super, super cool. Make sure to check out the BGG store for all sorts of cool goodies.
So we just want to remind you real quick that Board Game Geek has a ton of content coming out from various groups of people. My brother and I, as you see, do top 10s every month here at Board Game Geek, along with this very video you're watching right now. We have Jamie from Foster the Meeple doing solo gameplays every month or so. We have Our Family Plays Games doing stuff. We have Candace doing podcasts. We have Board Game Insider, game night, and more. There's just so much stuff to check out. So make sure you check out all the different things going on in Board Game Geek all throughout the month.
So that was some Board Game Geek news, but let's talk about the hottest games of the month. Let's get down and let's do it. Alrighty, so we're gonna talk about the 10 hottest games of the month. These are games that were all over the hotness all month.
Getting them clicks.
Ooh, getting them clicks. Let's go ahead and talk about them. Number 10, at the time of recording this, the campaign for this ended like 20 minutes ago. This is DANTE Inferno, which is of course based off of Comedy of Errors.
Encino Man.
Encino Man. Good pull.
Dante is the divine comedy.
The divine
right?
comedy, yes.
Going through this of hell.
Of heck, Mike.
Of heck, I'm sorry about that. So this is a game where you're going through and going through the different levels and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's a big campaign game. It's got really, really cool miniatures and stuff, and it's based off of the divine comedy, which I'm sure there are some other games out there based off of.
It's a great
Dante's.
setting for a game.
It's a really cool setting for a game, like a really, really cool setting. But there's different choices that you're making. This is gonna be changing up things in the game. You're taking on different characters. You have big, big battles. I think hell itself can actually change. I think you might even be changing stuff like that, which is really, really cool. But yeah, it seems like, again, if you like these kinds of big campaign, dungeon crawly, big minis and stuff like that, it seems right out there really, really cool. The campaign was very successful. It just ended. So shouts out to that team because they did very, very well. But that is Dante's Inferno, number 10.
Number 9 is Dune, the War for Arrakis.
I'm not gonna lie, I just played War of the Ring like a week ago.
Gets you hyped, kind of?
The people who made War of the Ring made this, the same designers, and I've been wanting to play this game anyway, but I really want to play this game now.
Yeah, this is one that, of course, is set in the Dune-averse, and you are playing as the different factions, and you are battling it out and stuff over the sands of Arrakis.
It's really asymmetric. You play as like the Fremen, the Sardaukar, there's a whole bunch of different factions, but it's really, really asymmetric, kind of the two sides of everything, a lot like War of the Ring, and that's why when this game got announced, everyone's like, man, the people who made War of the Ring are making a Dune game. Oh, crap, this is gonna be good. And it seems, from what I've heard, it seems very, very good.
Absolutely. So again, Dune is just a really good world.
You're in my heart.
It's a really good world for kind of creating compelling battle and stuff.
Yes.
So it seems like they've taken some things from, of course, War of the Ring, maybe streamlined some stuff. But from what we heard kind of in the initial announcement of this game is it was going to be a little less massive
mostly
than
like
War of the Ring is.
For a CMON, I don't know how much in terms of that, but just like what CMON was saying, like it's not going to be like a billion minis and a billion stretch goals. It's going to be a little bit more contained, which is good because
you're within a contained universe, which of course is sprawling, but like you are.
But yeah, apparently it's very, very good. I really, really want to try. I don't know when we will be able to, but I really, really want to.
Someday.
So yeah, Dune War for Arrakis, number 9. Number 8, it just seems so cozy, and this is Mythwind. It's literally advertised as like a cozy campaign game.
This is like a new thing we've seen a couple of. They have like Artisans of Splendid Vale, which is another kind of like couch cozy campaign game, and this is another kind of seemingly of the same ilk where you are playing. You can solo it, of course, or co-op it. And play up to 4 different characters, and each of your characters and stuff, you have this whole kind of tray with your pieces and stuff. and they are very different than each
Yeah.
other. They're specific roles like the farmer or the ranger, and it seems like based on who you're playing as, you're gonna have your own whole experience.
Yeah, because like one wants to explore, one wants to farm. You're kind of doing and the game is very open-ended. They're very much like, it's a campaign game. Like you can kind of just play as long as you want or just stop whenever. It's like, it's very, very open. I think it's meant to be like this relaxing game you play. And you're trying to just build up your town and stuff like that. It seems really, really cool, super cozy. The art's great. Again, every player's tray is like totally different, so there's a lot of asymmetry. But I just love want to play as long as you want. I don't care. Like I love the kind of nonchalant, open coziness of it.
Yeah, you can play a game on your terms and stuff, and explore those characters. The trays and things look really neat.
Yeah, really nice production.
I'm so curious about the world and stuff, and I just want to play the farmer straight up.
Yeah.
This big burly farmer.
I know.
Seems like there's some sort of spatial puzzle on your
great
board.
hugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You won't even fold it in those arms. That is Mythwind at number 8. Let's get to number 7.
Number 7 is an expansion for Heat Heavy Rain.
I love it. I'm so excited.
This seems very much like a more stuff expansion.
More stuff expansion, yeah. It seems like one, it adds a 7th racer, so you can play up to 7 player, which is awesome. There's
new maps,
new upgrades.
Mexico,
Mexico, and I think Japan.
Yes, I believe so.
So a new double-sided map, new weather stuff, car upgrades.
Yeah.
A new way to kind of cool down, where you can actually take heat from your discard pile and put it back into your engine, which is like a new.
This is like fully submerged areas that you're kind of driving through because it's super rainy and stuff.
Super
There's
rainy.
new stuff for the campaign. It just seems like it's very much like a more stuff expansion, and I'm cool. I'm here for more stuff with Heat.
100%. Yeah, I love the content that's in the base box. It clearly seems like they had intentions of adding more and more maps, more just things you can do with the game. It's gonna be so fun. Heat is amazing. It's just such a great time. I really love this expansion. It's super cool.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Heat Heavy Rain, love some Heat, always down to play more, and I love more stuff expansions in general. So that's Heat.
Number 6 is the Vale of Eternity.
By Mandoo Games.
Indeed, this is a card game where you are you're kind of summoning and taming these like fantastical beasts, and you're playing them out in front of you, or kind of discarding them for money and stuff like that to kind of build a combo and build an engine of points. Ultimately, you're kind of racing, I think, to 40 or 60 points to win trigger the end game. So in this round, you're going to be kind of doing a snake draft to draft these cards that are in the center. They come in kind of like 4 colors and things like that. And then the 2 cards that you ultimately select, you can choose to put into your hand or, again, discard for money. But there's an interesting thing where you can only have 4 money tokens in front of you. They are 1, 3, I think, and 6 in value.
Yeah.
But you can only hold 4 tokens. You can have 4 1s, you can have 4 6s. And when you go to pay for stuff, you can't make change and things like that. So it's actually this really interesting, like, managing that.
This balancing, yeah.
I have found, I've played it on Board Game Arena a couple times, I found quite difficult to like manage, like how do I do this where I'm building efficiently, and then the cards will have instant abilities which might gain you points based on like for each red card you have. There'll be end of round kind of re-triggering abilities that might be dependent on certain cards you have or certain resources and things like that. And again, you're trying to build an engine to generate more and more points to kind of reach that end goal.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool.
Really
I haven't had a
cool
chance
art.
to play it, Mike has, but it seems really cool.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I can't wait to play it in person and really check it out and stuff, but it works really well on Board Game Arena. So yeah, that's the Vale of Eternity. Interesting card play at number 6.
Number 5 is Life in Reterra. This is a new game by Eric Lang.
Absolutely.
And is by Hasbro. It's kind of meant to be towards like a mass market audience.
Aiming at that mass market, Eric, we got a chance to play this at BGG Con in the fall, so I should go to BGG Con. And it's kind of aimed with kind of broad appeal in mind.
Like target in mind. Yeah.
Target in mind, meaning a game that can reach a lot of people and then add elements and stuff to the game to provide depth and replayability through time. So it's a tile laying game. It starts off very simply where you're trying to put down certain tiles and create areas and stuff. And there's your little citizens you can put on your board, and there's kind of simple buildings you can build.
Technologies and stuff,
Technologies and stuff like that. Then as you kind of play through the game, you will add in new elements, the things you can build, the way things score will kind of add complexity slowly over time. But the baseline, I think you build a 4x4 grid of tiles. It's incredibly simple to understand mechanically. And Eric has talked about wanting to kind of have a comp be Dominion, where it's like a simple deck building game, but with all the expansions and all the material and things you add, there's all sorts of directions you can go with the play experience while keeping the kind of entry point really accessible.
Yeah.
Which is, again, why the kind of idea to go with Hasbro to hopefully get this game in front of as
Well, I mean,
many
again,
people
like
as possible.
Hasbro can reach a lot of people that most publishers can't, right?
Correct.
Because they just don't have the reach that Hasbro's been around forever, you know. And so, yeah, so it's super cool. The game was really fun. It's got a great look to it and stuff like that. And I want more people playing board games. So if we can get more games out to the people, the mass market, great. And so it seems cool, and I'm excited to play it again.
Yeah, it seems like a good thing for the hobby in general, and it is enjoyable by hobby gamers and folks that aren't as engrossed in the hobby as we are alike. So that's very cool. Life of Reterra, number 5. Number 4 is Floe.
Hi, Mary.
Oh, it's a dog.
Amazing.
The dog heard of water said, I want to go play. This is Floe is a game where kind of an adventure story game where you are going around, gaining resources and stuff, using them in the village to kind of upgrade and meet people, be sent on quests, visit the tavern, and then you are going to take your warmth and stuff, which is the kind of one of the main resources.
It's kind of your life points.
Your life, and you're going to go out on an adventure, and you're going to go visit islands, have encounters, fight monsters in caves, and do more, kind of in a race to 6 points. So you're kind of doing all these things to kind of upgrade and slowly build points through adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's got Andrew Bosley art, a really cool world of this like ice world. You're in ice
world.
Very cozy in terms like you go back home to the village and you get
You gotta warm up.
You get to warm up, stuff like that, and you get cool stuff. Pretty open. I think that it's out on Kickstarter right now, and I think it's going to have like a lot more like extra stuff to kind of unlock as the game
I think
goes
there's
on.
a couple expansions that are coming with the game.
Yeah,
at
I'm
least
not sure,
one.
but yeah, there's definitely going to be more stuff, and so it's a really cool world. We've heard this. The cover for this game came out, gosh, I don't know, a while ago.
Over a year ago.
A while ago, and so it's nice to see it finally up on Kickstarter, and people can finally start checking it out and stuff like that. So yeah, so Floe, it's a cool game, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with it.
Absolutely. So that's number 4, Floe. Top into number 3.
Number 3 is Wormspan.
Worms everywhere. Dragon
Worms are
Span.
everywhere. Yes.
Indeed, this is the new one from Stonemaier Games, which is of course based on the very popular Wingspan. Wormspan now sets us as, I guess, dracologists, fans and people who study dragons. And it's done by Connie, I think, Vogelman, who did Apiary recently, and with some development and stuff from Elizabeth Hargrave, the designer
producer,
of Wingspan, of course. And this takes a lot of that DNA of playing out cards into your 3 little rows. They're now kind of caves as you try to entice dragons, make use of their abilities, and kind of, does Wingspan-ish stuff while doing some things with like how you pay for actions and do actions, so it makes it kind of uniquely its own as well.
Yeah, it seems really cool. I really do want to try it. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I do want to try because I really like Wingspan, and so like I like dragons too. So and the art obviously is really, really great.
100%.
I think Connie did a great job with Apiary, so I'm curious to see what Connie did with this one. So it seems really cool.
Yeah, seems interesting for sure.
People seem to be into it.
Let us know if you think we ought to try it in the comments below. But that is Wormspan at number 3.
Number 2, we just got actually, and this is the 7th Citadel.
We backed it 8 years ago.
It was like 4 years ago.
A while ago.
The 7th Continent, the original game, also took a long time because they are humongous games with tons of like interconnected stuff, stories.
I don't know how you begin to like map that out.
Yeah, so this is kind of again the sequel to 7th Continent, where you were trying to get rid of a curse, basically.
Yeah.
And this one takes place like a post-apocalyptic world. You're like this like slave gardener. There's like these big worms that are like coming up and like destroying the city. It's very, very wild. But I was really, really liked the kind of exploration of this game. I feel like this was one of the first games that really did this, where you're going to be like flipping over these cards and exploring the land, and
you're gonna literally start off with like you're on one card and you don't know anything about what's around you until you kind of walk over land and discover stuff, good or bad.
And then on the cards there'll be like numbers, those will be references for other cards, because like, oh, you get to do this thing and you're doing this action, or like stick your hand in here and see what happens, and then you get bit by something, you get some weird disease. It's like, it's really, really fun. So I've been excited about 7th Citadel for years now. And we've been hearing it's very, very, very good. We have not had a chance to play ours yet because we really need like a whole evening.
Yeah, we gotta have some time.
Yeah, but I'm really, really excited to check it out because I really like the original.
We really like 7th Continent. It seems like this improves on all of the things that were maybe the weakest in 7th Continent. Streamlines some stuff, makes it easier to kind of come back to and take notes and all that. Yeah, I totally agree. We backed 7th Citadel off the excitement of the first one. Yeah. And now we finally get to try it, so we'll see.
Number 1 is Imperium Horizons. For the whole first half of the month, this was parked at number 1. And it was funny because like every single, if you go to the front page of BGG, there's like hot reviews and like hot videos, and every single one was Imperium Horizons. People were very excited for this.
It hit the scene hard.
Yeah, so this is the third Imperium game. There's Legends and Classics. And this game, you can watch it How to Play by a certain bald butt right here. That will be on BGG. We did one for BGG. And so you're taking a faction of a nation, so like Japanese faction, or there's even like Martians and cultists and stuff like that. But a whole bunch of different factions in all this, and then you are playing out your cards, trying to gain points. And every faction is very, very different. They all kind of do the same general stuff, like the same general rules, but every faction has a completely unique deck and plays very, very differently in terms of how you have to work your cards together and how they synergize. And there's also a commons deck, so you can get more cards from the commons deck, which again will supplement your deck. And it's cool because in this game, you start off with your basic deck, and then you have your nations deck, which is kind of like your more powerful cards. And you basically get a new card to your deck every time you have to shuffle, because it's a deck building game.
It's trying to like cycle that deck.
Yeah,
really
so
fast,
a lot of times you're trying to go through your deck quickly to get your bigger, better cards, and then you get those synergies going. I really like it. It's really, really fun. I like it a lot, and especially solo. I think the Imperium games are super, super fun solo.
Okay, cool. I have not tried it yet. Nick won't teach it to me.
I won't do
He
it.
doesn't like me. But yeah, so this one is all of the new factions are compatible with Imperium Classics and Legends, which was the other games in this series. So yeah, now it's just like even more stuff to explore. And again, it's got a really strong solo community as well. So those are the 10 hottest games of the month right there for you. Now we are going to talk about some things on BoardGameGeek that we are interested in with some Murph picks. So my Murph pick is a post made by user Nevermore talking about why are visuals and tactility in games seen as a lesser kind of component to deeming the overall quality of a game versus basically compared to the gameplay, and saying that things like the visuals and how they feel in the hands, the game should be weighted more heavily along with having a game with good gameplay. It's not saying that like a game doesn't have to be good but look good and that's all fine and stuff, but saying that it seems like gameplay is so heavily weighted, and the visuals and the components and stuff are kind of, maybe unimportant, or people sometimes will complain about a game has too many miniatures or the components are too deluxe, which to me is like a strange complaint of like, this is too nice. I'm like, treat yourself better, first of all. You deserve nice things. And I kind of agree with this post. I think it is something that should be factored in a more balanced way. I think ultimately games come down to the gameplay. There's no doubt about that. But this is a visual medium we're working in. It is a physical one. A game is something that is touched and pieces are manipulated around, and so it should feel good, look good, and be great to the brain from that gameplay as well. And the best games, of course, usually have a good mix of all of those things. So I just agreed and enjoyed the kind of mindset of saying that, like, why are we saying this is not as important, or sometimes like a bad thing and only gameplay should be considered. I do agree that I think it should be all. I still want the gameplay to be top notch. I am like a boring Euro gamer myself, so I'm definitely semi-hypocritical in this. I have games that don't necessarily look great, but I love anyway. But I do think it should be considered more, because this art form and this way of expression is really just more so than gameplay.
My Murph pick is a geek list by Josh B, talking about games that Josh usually doesn't like, kind of some exceptions to the rule. Basically, Josh talking about, like, I generally don't like area control games or engine builder games, but there are a couple games in there that kind of break that mold for me, and I do actually like them. I really, really like thinking about things like this, because I feel like all of us have this. So down in the comments, I want to know, what's one of your exceptions to the rule? I can say I generally really dislike social deduction games. I just generally don't like them. They're not really my kind of games, but I have one or two that I really, really enjoy. And I think having those exceptions to the rule is really, really good, because I like playing Don't Mess Cthulhu. I think it's a really, really good social deduction game that kind of fixes a lot of the problems that I generally have with social deduction games. And so I just always think it's an interesting thought experiment, because I feel like almost all of us have things in games that we generally don't like, generally genres that we don't like, but there's usually at least one exception to that rule. And I always think that's fascinating. So down in the comments below, let me know what your exception to the rule is, and make sure to check out Josh B's list, because I think it's really, really interesting. Alrighty, so at the end of the video, we always talk about our personal favorite game that we played this month. New, old, whatever it is. Yours is new. I think mine's old. So why don't you start with the new?
We're both new to us anyway. This
Yes.
is my pick is Age of Innovation. It's a Terra Mystica game in the Terra Mystica extended universe.
indeed.
This basically the main thing that this does is different than Terra Mystica. It's very much Terra Mystica, Gaia Project, all those things. The DNA of the game is very much the same. But now, rather than having certain player colors and land types be coupled specifically to certain factions, those things have been taken apart so that you can randomly assign a certain faction to a certain kind of home land type, and the abilities that come with both of those are now variable. There's also the palace, your kind of main building that you build is something that you choose what it is when you build your palace. So there's just a ton more kind of variety and ways to kind of specifically build out your faction and stuff, which is really, really cool. I love the base kind of DNA from Terra Mystica and all these games. I just like the added variety for this. It seems very, very fun. So we've been enjoying the heck out of it this month.
Yeah, I really like Age of Innovation a lot. It's really, really cool. My favorite game is basically the same game. It's Fast Sloths.
Same
exact theme and everything. Fast Sloths is a Freedman Freeze game where you are very lazy sloths who are not fast, but you can be fast because you're gonna be hitching a ride on the backs of other animals. Basically, you have leaves around the board. You're basically just trying to collect all your leaves. If you're the first person to do so, you win. And you do that by you're getting these cards. These cards are gonna be the different, are gonna correspond to the different animals on the board, and then you can play cards to essentially move those animals. So you can either move them to you, or you can hop on the back of them and have them move you around. Your sloth on your own, you cannot move on your own. You can only move by other animals moving you. And then all the animals also work differently, where if you jump on the back of an ant, they will carry you around. But when you end your movement, if you're next to other ants, the ants will like pass you along, ant to ant to ant, and then drop you off. So you want to have ants next to each other. The elephant is big, and so it'll move you, but then at the end of its movement, it throws you an extra 3 spaces because it just chucks you.
That's so hilarious.
The eagle will come over and grab you and move you around. It's super, super interesting, and I've always wanted to play the game because I think the theme is the funniest theme that's ever been invented.
So awesome.
But on top of that, it's super easy and pretty darn light, easy to get into, and it's actually really, really fun. And so I'm super, super hyped that I got to play Fast Sloths because I've been wanting to for a long time now.
Absolutely. So those are our favorite games of the month. Let us know in the comments your favorite game of the month. New game, new to you, old game, whatever it is. Hit us in the comments. Let us know what you think about the hottest games of the month. What did we miss? What didn't we talk about? Get that all into the comments below, and we'll be in there saying hello to you, and we will catch y'all next month.
Bye.